Next up on the show, we have got an amazing producer. I have been trying to track this guy down for a long time to do something for us on Dirtbox. We finally made it happen. This is Sam, aka Glitch City. How you doing, Sam?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good, thanks.
Nice to finally meet you, well, almost face to face in a virtual sense, isn't it? We've done a lot of chatting over WhatsApp and Messenger and stuff, so it's good to finally put a face to the name.
Yeah.
What you been up to this weekend?
Well, yeah, it's been my birthday, so for a start, went out, had some birthday shenanigans down at the south coast. Got a load of friends, had set the decks up, and had a little party, and then went home and had some family food together, and just been chilling for the weekend. Yeah.
So nothing too out of the realms of bonkers or crazy, then just a general birthday, bit of fun kind of thing then, yeah.
Yeah, more than enough shots have been passed to me at the bar on Friday night.
That's what we want to hear. So you're based down in the south, so whereabouts in the south are you based, Sam?
So I'm down in Worthing. I'm back down Worthing. Well, I used to go to university.
Ah, right. Are you from there originally?
No, I'm from Surrey originally, and I spent the last 10 years back there, but I decided after uni, go back home for a little bit and then come back down, and I wanted to just set up camp down here for the family and everyone, and yeah, get involved with the scene down here where my mates are at.
It's quite a common thing for drum and bass producers to be moving about, isn't it? I mean, I don't mean generally all over the place, but most, even myself included, most drum and bass producers, they always end up moving to a city for particular reasons around music, something of that nature, don't they? So what were you studying at university?
Okay, so I was doing music and business management combined, which was a very unheard of subject at the time. So I did originally go to Bournemouth University to do business studies, and thinking that was the way forward. I'd got my A in my A level for business, so I went there, and it was just a bit too overcrowded. And at one point I realized, why am I doing this? It needs to be music incorporated if I'm going to be doing a degree, right? So that's then when I dropped the course and moved to Northbrook College in Worthing, which they did a music and business degree, which was fantastic. I loved it. I did 3 years there, and yeah, that was it, pretty much.
What year was that when you was finishing uni then?
That was 2013 I finished.
Okay. And how long have you been, well, let's start from the beginning. When did you start getting into drum and bass, and when did you start producing it?
So I started writing drum and bass when I used to go to Slough Young People Centre, and this was before my GCSEs. So I actually, weirdly enough, got a degree, not a degree, an A level in music for sound engineering, music production course 1 and course 2. So funnily enough, that's where the production started out, and I was dabbling with it for a little while, and then the DJing, I've been doing that since I was about 16 as well. I went and did a DJ course in Windsor, and both of those sort of combined, and I started playing out more often, doing more DJ work. And then I got to the point where I was like, well, I can't keep spinning everyone else's music. I want something slightly different. I want to be able to just create my own sound and have something unheard of, because yeah, it was just to create a bit of independence and identity and things like that. So, and then the production started coming along. So I've constantly lived with my desktop computer, upgrading over the years. Now I'm working on Logic, and have been for about 5 years now. And yeah, I've been doing these since, well, obviously the Sammy Nix was my previous alias, if you weren't aware. But
what genre was that? Was that drum and bass as well?
That was, yeah, no,
it rings a bell. It does ring a bell. I can't think where. Remind me, what labels was that on then?
Well, me and Request spread across a variety of labels. Mainly we were on Multifunction. We had 10 Ton Beats, which is our first release where we started. We've done releases for Jaden on Smoking Rhythms. We've done a couple of overseas remixes for Lion Dub. We did a single for Tyke on holographic. We spread our wings quite a bit. We were just wanting to get the music out there and just really like cement our names in the scene, basically.
So why moving on from that to the solo project Glitch City, and what was all that about? What's the meaning of the name?
Well, I had like 2 days to come up with a new name, a new identity. I was just signing with the prototypes at the time with their brand new label Get Hype, and Tom happened to move to Canada, so we were doing less of the Sammy Nixon Request project essentially, and it was a nice fresh start again, create a new identity. And I would class it as, say, the practice years for my production and, you know, mixing and getting to know everyone. I would say that was the practice years, and now Glitch City has kind of been more established and more, you know, this is the career name that I'm running with from here on forwards, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that name, when you had those Get Hype releases, that's when it blew up. I think that's when I actually discovered you as well. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the Glitch City sound as well, because one thing that I found throughout me listening to drum and bass is I am absolutely drawn to the drum and bass producers and their sounds who you cannot pigeonhole. And I class you as one of those as well. I mean, it's not jump up, it's not neurofunk, it's not liquid, you know, it's not footwork. Like I say, it is drum and bass, but it's just drum and bass. I mean, if you had to pigeonhole it, or you had to give your sound a name, what would it be?
I don't know, man. I guess it's just dance floor. I just like hype music, you know. Like it, you know. I did violin when I was younger. I did piano, so I love all kinds of music. I listen to classical in the car if I'm doing long drives, for example. So, you know, anything that sort of like tweaks my ear, but then I just incorporate it into sort of my style, which would be very upbeat and, you know, yeah, I'd say dance floor jump up, essentially. I don't know.
It's like a cross between, I mean, this is what I mean. You cannot pigeonhole. We could have this conversation all day. It's like a cross between jump up without the squealy sounds, but it's still got the rollers vibe. I mean, there's a couple of tracks out there that they're the only tracks. If I had to compare it, I'd say like Food Fight by Hazard. You know, when he went through that kind of, it's got that vibe, but you were generally doing that first anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like he's copied your vibe. I mean, you've got that sound and there's nobody else like it.
I guess it's more of a, I just enjoy making what I want. I get inspired from whatever's going on in my life at the time. And, you know, if I want some angry vibes or even that kind of mood, then that's what comes out at the end of the day. So it's a case, I don't know, it's one of those where I don't want to, again, pigeonhole myself and I'm a specific style, because at the end of the day, I like my DJ sets to come across that I've got a nice blend of everything at that tempo, essentially. So it's a bit of whatever I feel like I'm going to throw into the mix, kind of.
I literally cannot put it in a folder. Like I keep my organization of my tracks is like I have like subgenre folders just through my USB, and the Glitch City tracks, I don't know what folders to put in, so they sit on their own, not in a folder. So they are literally, if I open the USB, they're the first tracks you see. So it's pretty much every set I can be guaranteed to play a Glitch City track because of that as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
So obviously from that, you know, the name obviously coming with Get Hype, you started the Amusement Audio label as well, which is it's going on. You're in the roughly getting up to about 20 releases now or so, aren't you, on the label?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, that's what we learned at uni, which was amazing, how to set up a record label, and it was always something that I wanted to tick off the list and say I've achieved. And it's it was an output just to, you know, you can't please everyone at the end of the day with demos and who you're sending the music to. So there was always the sitting tracks that I really liked, you know, had a love for. And it was like, I've got to put these on my own output. And, you know, when people come past and they send me some music and I say, do you know what, I really like that, and I'm fussy. So if it's something that stands out, and I'm happy to. So I'm not one of those that I'm going to put out everything constantly, loads of stuff. It's not like conveyor belt business, my record label. It's just I've got the special ones that mean something to me or have got a story behind, for example.
Yeah.
Say Bass Bandits, for example, I did a release for them. They're based in Florida, and I went on a little mini tour in Florida last year, and we were just listening. I was just listening to their tunes while they were jamming in the car, and that was it. I was like, look, I've got a great mail out contact list. I want to be able to bring your sound to the UK, and I just want to be able to push that and represent it. You know, I'm not tying anyone down exclusively. Like, if some great music comes my way, I will release it, essentially. And it's the same again. I'm if I can put music out on other labels, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm kind of just sort of free spirited right now, and yeah, that's kind of how I'm rolling at the minute.
Yeah, quality over quantity, as they say, Sam, isn't it? There's plenty in there as well. I mean, it's a great label. I discovered the label before I actually knew that you were behind it as well. Do you know what I mean? So I was playing tracks on it, and then I kind of obviously figured it out eventually just before we started talking. But yeah, there's definitely some bangers on there. It's definitely got some high quality music on that label. So definitely check that one out. If you tuned in, let us know what you think of Amusement Audio in the comments. So moving on from that, one thing that I saw that you're heavily involved in very recently is Subliminal's radio station, isn't it? From the label Subliminal. Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with that and what the plans are for it?
Okay, well, we've gone full cycle, really. I started when I went to university. That's where I met Agro. We were in different classes, which is funny because he was in the production and I was in the business, whereas he's now major in the business and I'm more so the production. But anyway, so we've been friends for a long time, and he's been running radio on and off. And by the time that I decided I was finally going to come down to Worthing, that we can set this up properly and launch it and make it a big thing. And it's just a really great platform at the end of the day for, you know, up and comers to have guest mixes and everyone to just sort of you know, portray their sound in a sense, because it's an underground dance music radio station. So we don't want to play all the commercial stuff. We want, you know, the artists to spin their tracks, test them out, their own productions, bootlegs, remixes, and so on and so forth. You know, music is meant to be heard by the world, and I think that's something that I'm very proud. Well, we're both very proud of doing and giving everyone on the South Coast a platform to kind of congregate and create a little community out of, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it kind of took a bit of a nosedive, like internet radio and things like that for quite a while. And then at the pandemic, because everybody was streaming, it's kind of come back full force. I mean, look how popular it is, Cool FM and things like that now. It's a pretty cool thing to be back on radio, isn't it? And doing stuff. I mean, even if it's a Twitch stream or on things like Subliminal as well, really cool to do.
Yeah, well, they've just rebranded and relaunched Cool, haven't they, as well? So yeah, radio is back and back in a big way, and it's just a great opportunity now that obviously everyone started out doing their own live streams at home during COVID. I think it's now creating the hubs for people and the platforms to do that on, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure. I mean, it did get like there was tons of radio stations and they all had like 5 listeners, like the online ones. But I think it was a lot to do with the quality. I think probably what happened is the pandemic. I mean, I know for me, when I started doing it and I was doing the streams at home, I went all out. I transformed my house. All I was spending my money on is fucking equipment and lights for the house just to turn it into something good. And I think the upping of the quality's probably got people a bit more interested in it again, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I did the same in that respect. I think everyone was quite desperate to be able to just create perform the music somehow if you can't do it out in nightclubs and that. And I think I did try a couple of times. I tried to do like a Glitch City radio thing, and then I thought, you know, I'm not fucking bothering anymore. I'm used to like clubs and just the party atmosphere and the live sound. But I tried. But anyway, yeah, with the radio, obviously, it's a different kettle of fish, just getting new people, new faces, and bringing guest mixes and established artists down to come and perform and help build the platform, essentially. And that's what we're here for.
And is there a website where people can actually tune in across the world?
Right, so we don't have a direct website as of yet, but we are now streaming on Facebook, Instagram Live, TikTok Live, YouTube, and Twitch. So we're giving people, you know, the option to pick and choose which their preferred platform is, and it's just spreading the sound on all the different platforms, essentially. Yeah.
Brilliant. And what is the social link for it at where? Where can we find it?
Subliminal Radio UK. That is it.
There we go.
So,
there we go.
Yeah.
So make sure you're tuned in. Right, let's have a chat about this remix then. Let's get straight stuck into this banger. Oh my God. So Glitch City has remixed probably, well, it is one of the top 2 major releases we've had on Dirtbox Recordings. Okay. This track was Dark Tower by Pittsburgh, USA producer Dropset, obviously a big neurofunk producer. And when I say one of the top tracks, it's one of the 2 top tracks, literally the most well received, the biggest selling, the most streamed. So he's done really well. And we decided to get Sam Glitch City to do a nice little flip of this. But I wanted to ask you, first of all, before we listen to the remix, Sam, what makes you choose a remix and why?
I've got to feel the vibes of it, essentially. I don't want to remix something that I don't think I can improve on, because if it's something that's, you know, gold as it is, then I won't touch it. But I think if I could put my twist on something and give it a nice fresh relick, then that's kind of what I aim for. At the end of the day, as soon as I jump in the studio, 9 times out of 10, I've got an idea in my head and it doesn't end up the right way, how it actually ends up, if you know what I mean. With this one, obviously, you said you gave me a few options and that, and I think I was just feeling that one the most, and I felt comfortable putting my spin on something that was obviously a bit more neuro in a sense. So maybe I'm just crossing the genre over and giving it a bit more of a different flex, essentially, or putting my stamp on it. Let's say that.
Absolutely. Well, you can tell it's a Glitch City track now. I think that's what's brilliant. And one thing that I really, really liked about this is that you went for something that not everybody generally tried to go for. I mean, when people are remixing, they look for probably the most, I wouldn't say easiest option, but you chuck a load of vocal stuff for people and that they love to remix that, because it's a lot. I think it's a lot easier to remix a big vocal track than it would be something a bit more instrumental, because you've got to use more ideas to kind of fill it out. And I think you've done the job. I mean, like you said, it's definitely got that crossover with neuro still. I don't know if you know this, but Gydra obviously runs Neuropunk Records. He's played it twice on his YouTube channel, on his show. He runs a Neuropunk radio station with Bez. And wow, I mean, that channel gets like 50,000 views every video. So
all good.
Everybody's hearing the promo of it now. It's definitely going off. I've dropped it in a few neuro sets and it fits perfect. I've even dropped it in a couple of jump up sets and it fits perfect in that as well. So very happy with the remix. We're going to let you all listen to it now. This is Dropset Dark Tower and this is the Glitch City remix. Okay, there we have it. Absolutely filth-ridden. Goes by the name 5 Years of Filth for this album, and I'd say this definitely fits the bill. Well done on that one, Sam. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers, mate.
So 2024, what's going on for Glitch City then?
Right. So yeah, obviously I'm working very closely, focusing on the radio to try and get that as big as it possibly can be. But I am just scheduling releases regularly, monthly. I've got a new EP coming out on Subliminal, which will be 23rd of this month, which you should definitely check out. I'm doing some remixes for a couple of American labels as well, which is quite cool because I'm looking forward to incorporating my sound like I did with you to, you know, these. It's actually, yeah, it's like a reggae band. If you've heard of Article Sound System.
Yeah.
Yep. Over in Florida. So I'm going to be doing a remix for them, which I'm very excited about. I just need to download the stems and sink my teeth into it. I've done another one for a couple of local heads in Florida too. I think, to be honest, I'm gonna stick to the EPs as well for Subliminal. Get some of those. Get like another one out, at least one this year. And yeah, just get the music flowing because I think, you know, I dropped off a little bit when it came to COVID. But I also, at the same time, I had family. I created a family, so I'm going to be now that everything's sorted out and settled, I'm going to be just nosediving straight back into the studio, and I've got a brand new studio too. So it's just adjusting and finding my place again, basically in the scene.
Yeah, very busy. There's lots to look forward to this year. I can't wait to hear some of these remixes as well, and of course the new EPs. Yeah, like me as well. You had you went into the COVID baby situation, didn't we? A lot of drum and bass producers went into COVID and come out dads.
Yeah.
That's the case. There's nothing else to do, was there?
Yeah, pretty much. Time as well at the same time to have all that time raising. You know, it was a good time.
That's it. It was a very good time. I really enjoyed it. Not just making the babies, but having the babies. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Good time in COVID. So last question. What does it mean to you, obviously, being on a monumental milestone like this for Dirtbox? Not only is it our 5th year running the label, but we've put out 50 releases, not including the albums as well. So big landmark project to us. What does that mean to you, Sam?
Well, I'm very supportive of it. I think, you know, you've obviously worked very hard over the years to make this happen, and to get to where you are, I'm very happy to be a part of and proud of doing a remix for you. You know, look at my label, I'm on 20, so I've got a few years to catch up on, or a few releases to catch up on. So yeah, no, it's good. I'm happy. Yeah,
and it's an honor to have you on, mate. Like I said, I've really been chomping at the bit to try and get you on there. It's always been in the back of my mind and stuff like that. So when we finally got talking and there were some opportunities, obviously I had to jump on that. So thank you very much, mate. Hopefully more in the future we can work together on as well. Thank you for your time, Sam. Really appreciate it. Look forward to what you've got in store for us.
Cool. Wicked, man. I love the creps in the background though as well, by the way. It's a banging selection right there.
Just a little bit of the selection, yeah.
Nice.
Just a few shoes, you know, just a couple.
If I had the space, I'd do the same.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they've got to be moved very soon because, yeah, unfortunately, COVID babies are dictating how much space we have in the house now because they're getting a bit bigger. And, yeah, so unfortunately, these are going to be relegated somewhere else. But, you know, I know. I'm very sad, very sad. It's been a nice backdrop. I don't know what I'm going to fill with it. It's either going to have a baby cot or maybe a set of decks. We'll see. So the next podcast, you can see one or the other.
Okay. Well, I'll tune in for next one.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Sam. You take care.
All right, big ups, man. Take care.
What's up, everyone? Leo HF here, the host of DNB Wraps. Thank you for watching our videos. If you like what you're hearing and seeing on the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to it. Please make sure you thumbs up the videos, and more importantly, let's get some comments going as well. It really helps the channel, and in order for us to provide this content to you, we do need the channel to grow. So we can't do this without your help. Hope you enjoy the video. Speak to you soon.